Welcome back. We are watching Cobra Kai. I have no idea what episode we're on, but we're on season 1. We're around episode 6, 7, somewhere in there. We've got some questions to see where things are headed and kind of go from there. The last episode, I forgot to comment on this. I had commented about having mixed emotions about Johnny working with Miguel and Mrs. Robinson. I can't remember her name. One, it's good that he's working on them and their self-confidence and building up their defenses so they can take care of themselves, that sort of thing. But he's using the old tactics, which goes against some forms of martial arts. It goes against their teachings, which is it's only to be used in self-defense and only when as a last resort, and and all this kind of stuff. But Cobra Kai is kind of the opposite of that. And so Cobra Kai, their history, they were geared for bullies, for making bullies even worse and all that kind of stuff. That's what happened with Johnny. With Johnny keeping those same traditions, but yet he's helping these students who are the ones who are getting bullied, does he start to change his tactics on what he's teaching them and that sort of thing? Will he learn to be less aggressive, I guess would be the term, with teaching his students to be less aggressive? We'll have to see and see where things go. Little girl's curling up on the floor in the corner. I don't know why. Let's see what happens, and we will go from there. And we are on episode 6. Quiver. Oh, I didn't know that. I'll have to see if I can find my picture of my old Walkman I had. Actually, I have another one up in the closet. I've got some older cars, so it's definitely a flashback. Ah, it's the old sensei. Is that Johnny?
Word of advice, if you got shit for teeth, don't smile.
See, he's still doing the bullying stuff.
Not line up in a line. Lines, get in lines.
You mean like rows? Parental override.
Time to get rid of Alexa.
When he finds out I'm working for him, he's gonna lose his shit.
Fighting positions.
So now we know why he sought the job out.
It's not like he can actually hurt us.
I'm actually glad the kid called him out, but I have a feeling he's going to pay for it. Looks like he's good at his job.
So you're saying I should fire you and give him your job?
Oh, that new kid. No, he's terrible. Very unmotivated. You gotta keep explaining stuff to him. I'm pretty sure I'm busy.
Okay, as your boss.
I'm sick.
Oh, come on, it's a good workout.
I would love to do it, honestly, but tonight I'm working
The kid's
out
going to do
with
it.
Priya.
How about monogram cufflinks?
I'll book you 2 weeks at the company.
They're being
time for
jerks.
Barbados.
Well, the boss has been wanting to move it up front by the windows. You think he can handle that?
Sure. Yeah, I can do it.
I feel like something's going to go bad.
Okay.
I think he's amazed that she touched him. Something's going to go wrong. Ugh. I never had to do that in biology. I always read the directions, and the rest of my team did the dissecting.
The doctor said I could be on the spectrum.
I don't know what that is, but get off it pronto. All right?
Means
If you don't want
autism.
me to call
And autism is misunderstood. It has a wide degree of traits, characteristics, symptoms, all of that combined. Basically, there's a whole range. And when he says on the spectrum, that's what he's talking about. That being said, I'm going to get on my high horse a minute, my soapbox. I think a lot of people are calling people autistic and all that kind of stuff when the people are not autistic. It is regular behaviors that you see in kids at such and such an age, or older, that kind of stuff. Kind of like ADHD. Oh, my kid is ADHD. Well, no, this is normal behaviors for a kid this age. They're not meeting this or this or this, that kind of stuff. They now have burps. Adolescent bipolar, which I don't know how I feel about that. And honestly, I don't specialize in children or adolescents. Take that as it is. But you see the same thing in adults. Adults say they're bipolar, but their behavior is regular swings. It's not the extreme swings that you see in bipolar disorder. I think people are quick to label things or try to claim labels. Either way, I've seen it on both sides of the fence. I've seen clinicians give folks a diagnosis, and I'm like, why'd they give them that diagnosis? They don't meet this, or this. Something I always did in practice is I would get my DSM out, which is the Bible that we went by to dictate what criteria the person met or did not meet, and if they had enough of the criteria to meet the diagnosis. It's not as simple as, oh, they tried to kill themselves, so they're borderline. No, that does not meet the criteria for borderline personality disorder. Oh, 1 minute they're happy, next minute they're sad. No, there's more to it. Oh, the kid runs around all day and, drives me nuts. That's not necessarily ADHD. I've seen society quick to label. I've seen clinicians quick to label. In fact, I had a psychologist that I worked with he specialized in bipolar, and at one point we had to do teams, and the therapist met with the person, did their assessment, the psychologist met with the person and did their assessment, and then the therapist and psychologist met together, discussed the review, and then met with the person a third time and said, okay, this is what we feel is going on, this is what we recommend, blah, 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 blah. He gave almost everybody bipolar disorder, and we have one person that came in, and I don't remember the situation or anything like that. All I remember is I looked at him and I said, don't you dare give them bipolar disorder. And he laughed. He knew why I was saying that. And he goes, no, they don't meet the criteria. I said, okay. So I tell folks all the time, you can have the same client present to 10 different therapists. And because there's a lot of crossover between diagnoses, you may get 10 different answers. It's just like medicine. It's a checklist we go through, and so we may not always be right in what we first give as a diagnosis. And that's one reason why they talk about that we're constantly assessing while the person is in treatment. We're constantly monitoring and watching and observing, and do we need to adjust the diagnosis? Do we need to adjust the treatment? A lot of us feel it would be best if we could treat folks without a diagnosis, because folks get hung up on the diagnosis. However, we have to have the diagnosis for billing. So, yay, capitalism. So we have clients that would come in and say, I'm this, and then get upset if you say, no, you're not. You're actually this instead as far as diagnosis. So they would get upset if you tried to tell them that they weren't what they felt they were. I've had other clinicians I've questioned why they gave a particular diagnosis, that sort of thing. A common combo is we'll have folks come in and tell us that they are schizophrenic, bipolar, and PTSD. Oftentimes what it works out to be is that the first two, schizophrenia and bipolar, they mishear that, and the actual diagnosis is schizoaffective disorder bipolar type, which is different than the other two. But it shows you just how weird the mental health field is as far as our criteria and our diagnoses and all that kind of stuff. And I have no idea why I got on this tangent. Oh, because he's on the spectrum. Totally forgot what we were talking about. So at any rate, that's probably what they're indicating for him, is that he has some type of autistic traits. But he could be on the end where they used to have what it was called Asperger's syndrome. They've gotten rid of Asperger's and now it's just autism spectrum disorder. But one of the common traits among all of it on the spectrum is there's kind of a social awkwardness type of thing, and that can be for several different reasons. And he does kind of show that. I don't know if he's actually supposed to be autistic or not. He did say his doctor said he was on the spectrum, but we don't know if that was a medical doctor or psychiatrist or what. So, all right, hopefully I trim some of that out, because otherwise you guys are going to be totally bored, and I apologize.
You don't know what it's like to be us. See you tomorrow.
He's got him there. He knows what it's like to be on the other end, to be the bully.
It's official. You've earned it.
You can tell he's not used to this kind of treatment.
Amanda asked me to do it, but I'm pretty sure she just likes the fact that it's 20 minutes out of my way.
Are you messing with me again?
That's what I'm wondering.
Never mind.
So is he setting him up? Because we haven't seen somebody delivering nightly reports.
Science is murder. Samantha, why did you dissect me? I could have gone somewhere in life.
Didn't Miguel send that? I missed who sent it.
Joking, it's Miguel. Let me know if you need the notes from today's.
There we go. Got my answer. I just need to shut up long enough. I'm trying to be better about getting my inner thoughts out. Don't break the Atari. I never was able to do that. I didn't drink a lot of beer though either. It was mainly wine coolers. Ah, the Walkman. Well, I couldn't find the Walkman, but I found the headphones. This is actually only one pair of headphones. These are real cheap ones. I have another pair in the kitchen that the styrofoam is turning orange because they're so old. And that's not including my newest headset headphones. I cannot do earbuds or stuff like that, so I've got a lot of over-the-ear headphones.
Karate? Ha! Look at you. You're a skinny little white boy.
They're not showing the
Besides, don't you
dad's
get
face.
enough-
That was kata. That's the foundation of my karate.
Is Kanta like Tai Chi?
Eli, what happened? I'm flipping the scripts.
Oh, it's
Give
lip.
it the lip. Nice cut. Call it.
Eli. I'll have to remember his name is Eli.
No sensei.
That's quite the mohawk. His hair was not that long before though.
Sensei.
So, we kind of got a little bit of change in Johnny, recognizing what he was doing, that sort of thing, but not really changing the way he's doing things. So I wonder if the show's trying to show that both ways of teaching the martial arts could be appropriate. It kind of feels like the show is taking it that way, and I don't know if they should be. But this will be interesting what his son learns. Is he still going, if as he learns Daniel's way, is he going to use that to stick it to Dad? Because that's why he got the job at LaRusso anyhow. So that'll be interesting. I've got a Walkman somewhere in this house. I have no idea where it is. I thought it was in the closet, but it's not there. But I do have a Walkman somewhere. But it's still not as old as the one that I took a picture of. And if I can find that picture, I will share it here. I think that's all I'm going to comment on for this one. We got a little more backstory on Johnny pre the Karate Kid series. So yeah, we'll see where they take it. Thanks for joining me. See you on the next one.